Welcome to Trading Lounge and the SP500 for the 21st of January. The S&P on the daily chart here, we're still searching for this wave 3 top here and then a wave 4 movement here. And there's things that I do understand and some things that I don't understand, but what I do understand is that we're from wave 4 here, we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. So from wave 4 low here, moving up this way here, I've got a few counts for this, and this is what I want to talk about today. Obviously there was a holiday yesterday, so there wasn't much sort of movement, but let's just go in. I want to talk about this here for a little while as well. One of the main points here, though, is that this number here, the 3,300, hasn't been tested as support yet. Now, if this market finds support on 3,330, if I can just get that in there somewhere. Oops, had it close enough. If it can find a tested support on top of 3,330, then it's not going to retest here. It's just going to continue to move higher from that point. So that's one thing that we'll also be looking at and also needs to be understood as well. So picking it up from this green wave 4 here on the start with the 4-hour chart here. This is the way that we've been looking at it in terms of 1 and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here, and then looking for wave 5 up here. I don't think that's the actual count though, so there's a couple of variations on that, and I also want to talk about this 3,330 here. This is minor group 1 here, and the next degree small is subgroup, so 1, 2 and 3 for subgroup here, which would be 30, and normally would have the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then an ABC correction, and then move up from that point. So if it does that and finds support here, then it's not going to come back and retest this for a little while. We're going to go much higher, and in that terms of going higher, if I go to the 2-hour chart here, this is another way to look at it here in terms of this wave 4, looking at this as wave 1 here and 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the 3rd wave, then the 4th wave, and then the 5th wave to the upside here. So giving us a much further scope to the upside here as well. Now I do have it while I'm here. I know this is confusing, but I think it's important that I put all the cards on the table, so to speak. So the other pattern that I've been just looking at is having wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and that also fits quite nicely as well. So yeah, that's just another little possibility, but yeah, so let's just go to the hourly chart first, and then we can start talking about this top here. So this is another way to look at it as well. I don't think this is the case either, but we need to just keep an eye on this in a way, because if we look at wave 4 being here, then 1 and 2 here and 3 and 4 and 5 and just finishing here. So we've got one more little push up here, one more little push up, and then we come down from that point. So we'll look at the tick chart in a moment, and on the tick chart we'll see that we've definitely got a move that's coming up into this space here. So it's really, if we have a little bit of patience here, we can work things out. So if we getting support on top of 3,330 here, the top of group 1 here, what normally happens is that the market will come down, and the lowest it normally goes is down to 15 here. So between 10 and 20 here at 15 here, and then it will spike back up and then continue to move up from that point. Most of the time it will just come down to the 2 here and then move up from this point. But the reason I'm saying this for is because if the 2 here, the number 2, the center, the middle of group 1 here, the 1, 2 and 3, if that becomes the retested resistance, let's say it comes down to 15 and comes back up and checks it, and then it fails that retest here and then comes down from that point, that means that it's been rejected here, and that means that the market will be pulled down to this number here at that point. If it pulls down to here, then obviously we've got a top, we're getting a top in play at that point. Okay, so this number 2 here, the 20 here, if that gets retested here, that to me is the evidence that I would look for a move further down here. So that's something that this is something that we'll be keeping an eye on, and also to the upside here as well, this little pattern here. So we're looking for a move up here, an ABC here that can come to the 20 or the 15 here and then push up again through here. So if I go to the tick chart here, the levels are really good, because if I don't know the wave count, then I can have faith in support and resistance. That's sort of how it works for me. So what I wanted to point out here is the wave 4 here. I can count 5 waves up for here for wave 1 and 2 here, and then 3 and 4 here, and then 5 for wave 1 here, and this would be wave 2 here. And if that's the case, then we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, nice ABC pattern here for wave 2 here, and then this counts up here from wave 2 up to wave 3 here. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Now I'm a little bit unsure about this, because as you can see here, if I put wave 4 here, we're definitely in a corrective move. So we've got an A and a B and a C wave here. So we've definitely got here, but I just don't know if this wave 4 should actually go over here, or should it actually go in here, as this is some sort of A, B, C, D, E triangle thing, and then we go up for wave 5 here. So I'm a little bit unsure about that. I can remove that from there, because if it's going to go anywhere, it's got to go there. But also wave C down here doesn't finish nicely either, because it's in 3 waves here. So we could actually be down for 1 and back for 2, down for 1 and back for 2, but I can say that as soon as we take this top out here, then that confirms that this is corrective here, and then we'll be going further to the upside there. So the resistance in here will be just nailing it all down. Well, it's already moved past the 61.8% mark, but that's not the end of the world, because we'd look at this here as an A and a B and a C for the A wave, back for the B wave, and then 1 and 2 here. We've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're still going to go higher here. So it looks like we are going higher here. It's just that this doesn't appear to be 5 waves moving down through here. It could be part of something else. I'm not quite sure. So some of this is not making sense in here. But what we could do here, that's 25 here. So really between 20 and 30 here, then we go into micro levels. So it'll be 1, 2, and 3. So if I was going to go along here, I'd be getting support on number 3 here, or at least a break out of that. We know that there's going to be problems at 5 here, and then the next level is number 8 here. But from number 8 here, we've also got group 2 in here, so there will also be 72 in here, 720, and the 65 in here. But it does appear that getting support on top of 5 here, and you see the structure's not finished, so we'll be going up here. All I don't understand is I don't understand this little bit in here. But just coming back a little bit here, from this wave 4 here, if this is wave 1 here and wave 2 here, well then wave 3 still got quite an extension to go out through here as well, because the length of wave 1 here would be from here to here, bit of a wonky line. Move that up to wave 2, so that would take us to wave 3 up to the 400 area through here. So that's and that would still go higher at that point. So wave 3 would have to take us up to the 400 here, and that would leave this wave 5 here. We've moved that up here, and then we need a wave 4 to come into play here, so that will do that one. That came out nice and easy. Some things work. So I don't know if that's the case, but what we can do is come back to this space here where we have support on top of number 3 here. So that's what we're looking for here. So we've had the arrival, the reaction, and we're looking for the first high above the level. And then we'll be looking for a corrective move here that will come back to this space and then move off. If that number 2 here becomes the resistance here, then you know that we're heading back down at that particular stage there. So I'll just leave it at that. So it's all about this level on the upside and all about this level on the downside. But you'll need a little bit of patience with all of this as well. So just coming back to our trade here, because we're still in a long trade here. So we're long in this little space just here for this, and we've got our stop didn't have to move that, so that stayed in place there a little bit. If this comes back down here, it's going to flick us out from that point, so it might be best to track that up a little bit here. So, well, the first thing that we can do here is actually bring it up under this level here, because the market shouldn't come back to that particular point there, and it should just push up there. So you could trail it up, and there will be some sort of pattern at this level here. So taking the money off the table at the micro group one there where the 3 is, so 3, 3, 3, 3 would be a nice little target space to take that there. I won't put that there, but anyway, that's where you can take part profit at least there if you wanted to, or take it all there. I'd take it all there, and then we'll look to get back in over here. So what we need to do is we need to put that in there, shrink that up. We'll put that there. We'll save that, and that's that. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. Cheers.